I'm not someone who scares easily. I've hiked these trails for years, every weekend without fail. The Blackstone Forest near my town has always been my escape, my sanctuary from the noise of everyday life. But 3 weeks ago, I found something that's made me question everything I thought I knew about these woods. It was a Tuesday morning, unseasonably cold for September. I'd taken a different path than usual, one that veered off the main trail into a section I'd never explored. The trees grew denser there, their branches forming a canopy so thick that barely any sunlight filtered through. About 40 minutes in, I noticed something wedged between two moss-covered rocks. A journal, leather-bound, worn at the edges, with water stains blooming across its cover. My first thought was that some hiker had lost it, and I should probably leave it there in case they came back looking for it. But something made me pick it up. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was something else. I opened to the first page, expecting to find a name, a date, something to identify the owner. Instead, I found my name. My full name, David Michael Carter, written in careful, deliberate handwriting that definitely wasn't mine. My stomach dropped. I told myself it was just a coincidence. David's a common name, but Michael and Carter? I flipped through more pages, my hands starting to shake. Page after page, my name, sometimes written just once at the top, like a title. Sometimes repeated dozens of times, filling entire pages in neat rows. David Michael Carter. David Michael Carter. David Michael Carter. I should have thrown it down right there. I should have run, but I kept reading. The entry started on page 15. The first one was dated exactly 1 year ago. Saw David on the trail today. He wore his gray hoodie, the one with the faded logo. He stopped at the overlook for exactly 7 minutes. He always stops at the overlook. He's so predictable, so beautiful in his patterns. My blood went cold. I do have a gray hoodie with a faded logo. I always stop at that overlook. And exactly 1 year ago, I was hiking these trails. I flipped ahead, my breath coming in short gasps now. More entries. Detailed observations about my hiking habits, what I wore, what time I usually arrived, which paths I preferred, descriptions of my car, my license plate number, the coffee shop I stopped at beforehand, what I ordered. David takes the Western Trail when he's had a bad week, the Eastern Trail when he's happy. Today was Eastern. I wonder what made him smile. The entries became more frequent, multiple times per week. Whoever wrote this had been watching me for months, studying me, learning my routines with obsessive precision. Then I found the sketches, pencil drawings scattered throughout the journal. Me sitting on a fallen log, me adjusting my backpack, me drinking water at the creek. The detail was disturbing. They'd captured the exact angle of my face, the way my hair curled at the edges, even the scar on my forearm from a childhood accident. My hands were trembling so badly I could barely turn the pages. I wanted to stop reading, but I couldn't. I had to know. The entries got darker. Sometimes I follow so close I can hear him breathing. He doesn't know I'm there. He never knows. I could reach out and touch him. Maybe someday I will. Watched his house last night. His bedroom light stayed on until 11:30. He worked on his laptop for exactly 45 minutes before turning it off. I counted. I always count. They knew where I lived. They'd been to my house. The most recent entry was dated 2 days ago, the day of my last hike. David almost saw me today. He turned around on the trail, looked right past where I was standing in the trees. So close. My heart was pounding. I wonder if his was too. He had that feeling, I could tell, that sense that something wasn't quite right. But he kept walking. He always does. That's what I love about David. He's brave, but not reckless. Cautious, but not paranoid. The perfect balance. The perfect subject. The entry ended mid-sentence, as if they'd been interrupted. I slammed the journal shut and looked around. The forest suddenly felt suffocating. Every shadow seemed to hide a person. Every rustle of leaves became footsteps. How long had I been standing there reading? 5 minutes? 10? Was whoever wrote this watching me right now? Had they left the journal there intentionally for me to find? I started walking back toward the main trail, trying to stay calm, but my pace quickened with every step. Then I started running. Branches whipped against my face. My lungs burned. I didn't stop until I reached my car. I reported it to the police, of course. They took the journal, asked me questions, told me they'd look into it. They increased patrols in the area. They told me to be careful, to vary my routines, to always let someone know where I was going. Standard advice, but I could see it in their eyes. They didn't know what else to do. The handwriting analysis came back inconclusive. No fingerprints except mine. The paper and ink were common, untraceable. The journal itself could have been purchased at any bookstore. That was 2 weeks ago. I haven't been back to those woods since. I've installed new locks, security cameras, motion sensors. I check the backseat of my car before I get in. I vary my routes to work. I close my curtains at night. But here's what really keeps me awake. Yesterday, I found a package on my doorstep. No return address, no postage, just my name on a plain brown box. Inside was a new journal, leather-bound, pristine, unopened, and tucked inside the front cover, a note in that same careful handwriting. For your thoughts, David. I've shared mine with you. It's only fair you share yours with me. I'll be reading. I'm always reading. I'm always watching. And David, I'm always so very, very close. The journal is sitting on my kitchen table right now. I haven't opened it yet. I'm afraid of what I might find inside. Blank pages waiting to be filled, or more entries, more observations, more proof that someone has been inside my home. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust. Because the most terrifying part isn't what I found in that journal in the woods. It's knowing that somewhere out there, someone is still writing about me, still watching, still waiting, and I have no idea what page of their story I'm on or how they've decided it should end.